Hey,
Hello, Matt.
good morning, Chloe. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm great. I'm hyped up. It's
You're hyped
Halloween
up.
weekend.
It is. It's officially the beginning of Halloween weekend.
Oh,
I'm
Halloween.
it's very spooky.
Very spooky. I'm all set. I'm ready.
Yeah, and you told me, you told me up top that before we got started that you are actually in a costume,
I'm in.
which completely was lost on me because I'm old and
I'm
yeah.
in a very simple, doable costume, which is the best kind.
It's the best kind. It's the only kind.
It's a sweatshirt and a headband. I am Mabel Pines from Gravity Falls. Sweatshirt
Mabel
with
Pines from
stuff.
Gravity Falls.
Yeah. And this is Bill Cipher over here. This little guy.
So yeah, let's just. So yeah, this is. Yeah, no, it checks out. It tracks. Oh,
That's
sorry,
neat.
it's not what I wanted to do. Oh
Now
man,
look
I'm
up
hitting all the
Bill
wrong buttons
Cipher.
today, Chloe. There we go. Uh,
Spooky.
Spooky.
Yeah.
I am not wearing anything. I
It
didn't
looks
get
like
it.
you're wearing a shirt, Matt.
I'm right. Right. I'm wearing a shirt and that's it. Hmm. Not really. No, it's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I am wearing pajama pants. I will say that though.
Oh,
I
good.
am wearing very
Well, because
comfy.
it's chilly now.
It is chilly.
It's
It's getting
very
to be
cold.
that
I got
time.
a blanket over
Mm-hmm.
my lap right now. I got my nice fancy fuzzy blanket.
Ooh.
Look at that. Look at that texture.
Oh yeah. I love fancy fuzzy blankets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the coldness on my toes is just keeping me like focused and present.
Yeah,
I mean that's how our ancestors did it.
yeah. Pain really, nothing brings you into the present moment like pain.
Like pain. Yep. 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 It's not pain. I'm not like my. I mean, I don't have. I'm not sitting with my feet in an ice bath or anything.
Oh, that's good. Not
Yeah.
doing a polar plunge for your feet this morning.
I would never. Have you ever done one of those polar plunges?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I would never do one of
This
those.
sounds awful.
It does. It does not sound like it would be fun in the slightest.
Yeah. No offense to anyone who has done a polar plunge. If you have, we would love to hear about your
If
experience.
you have, good for you.
Good
Good
for
for you.
you. You did it so I don't have to.
Yeah. I also wouldn't ever run a marathon or even run a 5K. Like
Yeah.
anything that involves running for more than short distances away
Yeah.
from things,
Mhm.
uh, it just doesn't appeal to
Not
me
motivated to
in the
do it.
slightest.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So do you have any Halloween plans, Chloe? What are you doing for Halloween?
I do. I'm going to a little Halloween party. It's a small Halloween gathering,
A
I
small
think.
Halloween gathering.
Yeah, I haven't decided what I want to wear to that. And then tomorrow we're doing sort of a trick or treating thing at our house
Oh,
here, which will be great because I can go inside and get warm if I need to. Um,
nice.
but I haven't decided. I haven't decided what I want to do for a costume for either day yet. And I realized going through my costume inventory,
Mm-hmm.
I have way more than I thought that I did. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things of like you're like, I don't have a costume for Halloween. I'm not ready. I'm not going to be able to do it. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I literally have 6 costumes.
Yeah.
So I got options. I got Khaleesi. I've got Mabel Pines. I've got Black Widow. I have the Black Knight from Monty Python with a detachable arm.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that last week.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Let's do
Good
things.
morning, Sans Double C. Thanks for joining us and being up early. Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on where you are, it could be very early right now.
Could be quite
Sparky Boy
early.
Max in the chat. Happy Friday.
What's up, Sparky Boy Max?
Sparky Boy Max. That's one of my favorite like screen names. It's just it's a fun screen name. Well, that's good that you have all that. I have a few like things that I could use as a costume.
Yeah.
And I probably will dig something out on Sunday. But I am there's no judgment. You get up as early as you want. Thanks for getting up early. Sansi, I would never deign to judge you for getting up early. You know what they say about the early bird is up earlier than all the rest.
Listen,
that's what
we're
they
getting
say.
Worms right now.
Getting so many worms.
Delicious comedy worms.
Delicious friend worms. Friendship worms.
The best kind of worms.
Yeah. Wouldn't say comedy, but friends.
Okay, well, Matt, here's a question.
Yeah.
What was your best Halloween costume ever?
Oh, my best Halloween costume. Oh, I think my best Halloween costume ever is when me and some friends decided to go as Zombie Town. So we had some friends that were really good at stage makeup and wanted to do stage makeup. So we were like, hey, could you zombie us up? And we each spent like 45 minutes apiece, like sitting and having people do zombie makeup on us. And I was zombie mayor. It was incredible. I did a bald cap and like a head prosthetic that like gave me this like big brow. And then it was just, oh my God.
Well,
it was
you need a
when
strong
people
brow
will
to be a politician.
Yeah. When people see you and then take the long way around, like that's a good costume.
Wow, you guys were extra spooky.
Yeah. People did not want to be around us at all. It was fantastic.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I think that was one of my favorites. And then one year I went full drag, which I've never I'm not really good at, but I've got a friend that was a drag queen, and I've got several friends that are drag queens. But my friend Nick decided that he would help me kind of do a makeover. So once again, I spent like 2 hours getting ready for that.
Real Mrs. Doubtfire situation.
It was, and I have so much respect for drag queens after that. I'm like, man,
oh my gosh,
they are not comfortable.
They're
like,
not
I don't know how they do stuff. I don't know how they perform and stay somewhat chipper because there is so much like pressure on everything in your body, like literal pressure pushing up against and keeping in. And it was. Yeah.
I don't think this is. I don't think this is something that the most drag queens do, but there was an episode of Drag Race where one of the drag queens wanted to have lace cuffs, and of course, so part of drag is like the DIY element.
Oh yeah, I know where this is going.
And she just hot glued that lace right to her wrist, right
to her skin. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. No, drag queens do not F around. They do not. Something that gets done, something they need to do, they will do it. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
So
I am impressed.
Yeah. So I've got I want to do a couple TikTok things before we bring on our guest, because I have a little theme for my TikToks today.
Oh,
and
good.
It's kids swearing.
Uh-oh.
This is a low swear show, but well, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care. But if you're just tuning in, you're about to see some
the children's are doing it. It's much
this
more
is
innocent.
There is nothing funnier than kids swearing.
Yeah. And we gave you a warning, so don't say we didn't warn you.
Yeah, so here's we're going to do this one. This is a new thing that StreamYard can do. You can put us down here on the bottom, which I'm very...
Oh, this is great.
This is new. This is brand new. You're seeing brand new technology here. So this is, here we go.
Don't be mad at me. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
It's an F word, but don't be mad at me. It was her.
Okay.
She said shit.
That kid, the kid was very wanted you to be very clear that it was not him that said this.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
and
her. It was an F word.
it was an F word.
Shit. She said shit. And I posted this on my Facebook yesterday. This made me laugh so hard. So here's another kid swearing.
Fucking damn it. Oh, fucking damn it. Oh, fucking damn it. Fucking damn it. Oh, fucking damn it. Oh, fucking damn it.
Oh, fucking damn it.
Oh, I love her little boots.
I would watch that little kid.
I mean, who hasn't had a day like that, though?
That just wants to walk down the hall. Fucking damn it.
I'm going to tell you this story. There was one time. So my dad and I have this thing in common where we'll think about something later and have the same reaction to it that we did in the moment. We'll have like a similarly, maybe not quite as strong, but a similarly strong reaction to it in the moment. So for me, the way that this manifests is a lot of times I'll just start giggling out of nowhere because I think of a joke that I saw earlier or that I was part of earlier. My dad, there was one time that he asked my mom, like, is it possible that I have Tourette's? Because sometimes I think about stuff and I just start swearing. So, like, I'll be in the shower and I'll just be swearing. It's like, no, you're just mad.
You're just mad. Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
You just have days like that.
They just have days. You just have days. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's okay.
So, yeah. All right.
I did play a little joke. So we finished recording season 2 of True Tales this weekend.
Nice.
We're finally back in the studio. The script has been written for a while, but we're finally back in the studio.
So tell people about this podcast. Like, what's the title?
The title is True Tales of the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
It is an audio comedy, so you can find it wherever you find podcasts. It's a scripted show. It's really well done. Excellent sound engineering. It's like so exciting to be a part of this. And it's basically like, so the way that I describe it to people is it's the Illuminati trying to subtly influence history, but they're doing a bad job. It's kind of like a workplace sitcom.
Got it.
It's so funny. And so we recorded season 2 over the last 2 weekends. Over at the Bridge Sound and Stage is it Somerville or is it Cambridge? It's like north of Mass Ave, but anyway, it's a lovely place to record. And while I was there, I played a tiny little prank on my friend Max. He was telling us a story about how he got his dad a clock for his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And the clock is backwards. And so what he meant when he said that was that the numbers go backwards. But I saw the opportunity. And I said, Max, you can't have a clock that faces the wall. That's not useful to anyone. And then he started explaining to me how clocks work.
Yeah.
And then about halfway through his sentence, he just stops and changes directions and goes, I see what's going on here. I see what you did. I realize that you're playing a joke on me now.
And I will stop explaining to you how clocks work. Because you obviously know how clocks work.
I laughed about it for a good 10 minutes. I had like tears in my eyes. Like, this is dumb, such a tiny little joke. But it was just, I loved it so much.
just gotta, when the moment is there,
there.
you have to take it.
You gotta do it. So check out True Tales at
check out True Tales.
TrueTalesTeam.com. Thanks for posting that link.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I do. Normally that would be Mike Carr's job. He would do that. But
I saw him.
Me too. I got to hang out with him. We work for the same company now, so I did a little workplace training with Mr. Mike Carr.
Aw.
It was so good to see him. I kept it together. I didn't cry until after.
I know, it's so difficult. You got to shove it down.
Yeah.
Shove those feelings down.
It's like running into that ex that you still are madly, deeply in love with, and they have moved on and are now happily married with kids.
Without you.
They have an amazing life.
It's really hard.
But it's really hard because you're still desperately in love with them and you want them back. But you know it'll never happen.
You know they're never coming back.
Ever. If anything, he'll come back like Jason Sudeikis in SNL and just come back and maybe host the show.
Guest host.
Guest host.
We should have him on why haven't we thought of that? We gotta have Mike on as a guest.
It's too hard. It's too hard.
Painful.
It's too painful. But it is time we actually bring our actual guest onto the show. He has been waiting patiently backstage. It's funny that you mentioned like a funny history, like takes on history, because this gentleman also has a podcast about the bad side of different things that people enjoy, the bad things of called Where It Went Wrong, or Here's Where It Went Wrong is the name of the podcast.
I'll give you the answer to that question. I'll give you the answer to where it went wrong. The Illuminati messed it up. I guarantee you.
Please welcome to the show comedian Andrew Nadeau. Andrew.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Did I pronounce your last name right?
You did. Surprisingly, you nailed it.
Wow.
Is it French? It looks French with all those vowels next to each other.
It is. Most people guess that Nadeau. Is it Nadeau? It's EAU, always O. Nadeau. Yeah. Perfect.
Nadeau. Look at that. I'm better at reading than I really gave myself credit for. Which, for 10 o'clock on a Friday morning, I'll take it. I'll take it as a win.
It's perfect. I'm happy to be. I spent the morning combing my hair, super relatable thing, and then put headphones on and realize I do this every single time I record. I don't know how I forget. Like the back's gonna go down and the top's gonna go up. So I've been in the waiting room just like trying to make something happen here. And this is what we end up with. We're calling this a win, guys.
No, honestly, I was going to say you look very coiffed.
Thank you very much.
Height.
It's very nice.
Yeah,
some good height.
That's the goal of hair too. Is height. That's typically what people. When you say someone has a good haircut, it means it's very tall.
Yeah.
The other day, I got on a training call yesterday, and I just want to give you a little. I'm going to turn my camera off, and then I'm going to turn my camera back on, and this is what I look like when I first got on to the call.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
I'm so excited for this. He's pulling a little prank on us.
I like the breathing in the background. Like I know something's happening, but I can't tell what.
Hey guys, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's go. And then I saw myself, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, I didn't look at myself before I hit go on the Zoom.
Right.
I forget how long your hair is.
This is that COVID hair. This is that. I haven't had a haircut since the beginning of the pandemic. So.
Oh my gosh, that's impressive.
Yeah,
that's a good amount of length.
And then I'll just leave this on. We'll just do this.
That's that's a killer look.
So
you really scared Sans double C.
Oh no. It does. It looks like that. I should probably go get a haircut, but at this point I'm like, how long can it get? Like, how long can it go?
Yeah. I mean, you're about to have a kid, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta do the wild hairstyle before they show up, you know what I mean?
Okay, because I don't want to influence them. I don't know, Andrew. You write for what a great segue. You write for
You're welcome.
Twitter at the Dad, yeah.
Yeah, I've done some writing for The Dad and Netflix Family, Journal of Socials. Right now, surprisingly, I'm writing for NASDAQ. So some good fun segues.
So what, as far as like dads with weird hair, do you think that's would that influence their children or?
Here's something most people don't know is that kids aren't really super into hair for like the first 3 years of their life. Honestly, I'm like they have to learn what trees are. So
they have
like,
a lot to think about.
Yeah, hair probably isn't the biggest thing going on. You probably got a few years where you can keep this going.
Okay, great.
Oh,
and then they'll just start being embarrassed to be around me.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say go the other way. Get like because whatever Dad does is obviously lame. So just get like whatever haircut you don't want them to have, and they'll end up with that really sleek professional business cut because that's how they rebel now.
Yeah. My dad did the long hair thing for a little bit, and this was just a few years ago. And he's got that baldness at the front that kind of goes back, right? So he had no hair here, and then long hair here, and then he did this like imagine this without the chin, like just the mustache. He looked like David Crosby, like he legit looked like David Crosby from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and I was like. Like part of me really dug it, and I look a lot like my dad. So I was like, okay, so when I'm in my 60s,
I could pull this off.
This is what I'm gonna look like. And I'm okay with it. I got better hair than he does. I have much better.
You have excellent hair.
That's how you win as a child, I think.
having better hair than you.
Yeah,
just having
Screw
better.
You, Dad. I've got the best haircut now.
Honestly, yeah, it's like. My my dad cannot grow a beard, and my brother is like not only is he blonde, but he can also grow a beard, and so he's got like this thick, full blonde beard. He's one of the only people I've ever met that can like pull up, like really truly pull off just a mustache.
Yeah,
like. It's a real
for me, my dad's competitive side with height. Like he was like 5'7". I'm 6'1", and I was 6 feet before he said, "I think you're actually taller than me." This has been happening a number of years.
Like, Dad, you've been wearing high heels for years,
and that perception of height is so funny. It's got to be tied to ego. I have a friend who she just assumes that she's I think she's like 5'5" or 5'6". She's so like average height, right? But she just assumes that she's the same height as everyone. Yeah. And so she's like, if she's trying to reach for something on a high shelf and I'm like, hey, do you want me to help you with that? She's like, she thinks about it and she's like, you're not taller than me. You're not going to be able to get it.
You're like, let's try this. Let's see. I'm gonna put something.
Give it a shot. I got really long arms.
I love the idea that like she was someone that's 7 feet and like, oh wow, they must have such a huge wingspan to be able to reach that. They're the same height as me, but they can reach so far.
Yeah.
She thinks people are just like have these like gangly arms that kind of.
Everyone's like Slender Man. A huge reach.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything for Halloween, Andrew? I know you're in the Windy City.
Yeah,
took me a minute to remember what Chicago was called.
I am actually. I'm doing a small Halloween party here, which is not something I've done. I'm not sure ever. I'm not sure I've ever thrown a Halloween party. And so no, we've just got some decorations up, and this is one where my girlfriend works so much harder than I would. But I have to work at her level, obviously, because we're so the place is now decorated. And after we finish this, I've got to go shop and then cook for like 5 hours. So,
oh wow, so you're doing, when you say you're throwing a little Halloween party, if you're cooking for 5 hours,
right,
that's a lot.
I was told I need to make themed desserts. So,
Oh, you gotta make dirt cups.
that we're actually, I'm doing a cheesecake dip with like a cookie crumb top, so it looks like that, and then we'll do little gravestones out of cookies. So we've got like the dirt cup equivalent, but
It's
fancier because I know what's expected of me.
Checking flights to Chicago.
Yeah.
Just when is your party? When is it? Is this tonight?
It's Saturday. Yeah,
It's Saturday. Okay, I got plenty of time.
you got time to make it. Yeah,
He'll make it.
Just because I'm not gonna have a costume on or anything.
Yeah.
You'll just recognize me. I mean, obviously you see me here. So.
I'm dressed up as a Twitch host.
as a small time Twitch host. Love it. What are you dressing up as?
We're doing actually our first couple's costume too. We've been here like 4 years, but we haven't done like Halloween really. So it's Paul Hollywood and Mary Berry from Great British Bake Off.
My wife and I are currently watching the current season.
Yes.
Like we've never watched a full season.
Oh, really?
But we've decided, we're like, you know what? Let's sit and watch this. And we started I didn't want to go through the older season. So I was like, let's start this season. And I love Matt, the guy from Little Britain.
Yes.
Like I love him so much.
I highly recommend going back and watching every episode ever made. But also because Matt is new. He was added last season, I think. But yeah, no, because you've missed some of the best host years, and obviously Mary Berry, and they've really got a fantastic team now too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's one of the best. Early in COVID, that was my comfort show rewatch, where it was like everyone's just nice and wholesome. Like the biggest scandal they ever had was when someone took someone else's ice cream out of the freezer, and someone they just to make room and they forgot, and they're like, "Well, this was obviously sabotaged." It was like, she is 70, she forgot.
I do need to go back and watch the other seasons. It's because it is. It's just so nice, and you don't see that in American reality television. It's just such a stark contrast.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh man, I would love if they did an American version, but I don't know if they can.
No, I've actually tried doing some holiday ones, but American cooking shows are always like, here's some chocolate and a raccoon. See what you can make in the next 20 minutes.
Someone yelling.
And all your competitors have throwing stars.
Right. It's
like the closest they've come, I think, is like Nailed It.
Yes. Oh, that's true. Nailed It is. I don't think they could do Nailed It with people that could actually cook, but Nailed It is great. In terms of, you just got just people doing their best, and their best is not very good.
Yeah, but see, even that's the thing. It's like we're just using that to kind of chuckle at the people that are failing, which is fine. They know
they're
that they're
clearly
failing.
in on it. Yeah, which is why I don't mind that. It's they know what the show is when they signed up for it.
Yeah,
I think in America the culture is very it's we put so much importance on being good at things that we don't have energy for the being nice parts. Just such a perfectionistic attitude of you get out of my way because I'm doing this the most correctly.
Yeah. There's this weird thing. This can seem like the weirdest segue, but I was rewatching Julius Caesar, the one with James Mason, Marlon Brando. And it has one of my favorite Shakespearean speeches of all time, talking about the ambition of Caesar. And I remember the first time I heard that, and then it took me a while to realize that it's only recently that ambition started being talked about as a good thing. Before, they're like, this is why we killed the guy. He was ambitious, and that's evil. And now it's like, if you're not ambitious, is what are you even doing here?
Yeah. If you're not ambitious, you're lazy.
Right.
Breathing.
It's like, no, I just want to do my thing, man.
Yeah. I got a lot going on.
I'm a little too busy to be ambitious.
Right.
Okay. I've got to survive.
Do you know how much TV is on right now? Come on.
There are so many shows on right now.
So many. It's like, I got to make a schedule for this. That's even making the schedule is time consuming.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, Netflix now has this thing where you can just hit, just show me whatever. And and I never use that, even though, I'll spend 45 minutes just going through all the different streaming services I have and just looking at the titles and be like, well, I could watch that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm too tired to watch it.
And then you watch the same show that you've watched 20 times.
Yeah. Okay. I'll watch The Office.
I saw an article somewhere that gave a specific number for the amount of time that people spend just trying to find something to watch.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I think I erased it from my memory because it was too depressing for me.
I think what there should be is a time limit where it's showing you the countdown, and if you don't find, it's like musical chairs, whatever you're on when it ends, it will pick for you unless you make the decision yourself.
And it locks you out, and you have so where you can't do anything but watch that for at least an episode.
Right. It's all right, well, I guess I'm just watching Everwood now.
Sure, why not? And then who knows, you might like it.
I should have picked a show that at least one person has seen. Because nobody knows whatever. It was a show, I believe, in like early 2000s about a guy who played piano well, but it was a small town drama. Is that right?
That's one of those titles I see.
Yeah,
I'll like see in my scrollings, and I never stop.
Nobody has. I'm amazed that it's anywhere.
I'm really working hard to kind of like diversify the things that I watch, and so the guy that made the movie Parasite, when he gave his speech, he was talking about like, hey, there's only like an inch between you and foreign movies, and he's talking about like the height of the subtitles, right? And I was thinking about that of like, most other countries are so familiar with American content and media, and like in America we're like, foreign languages,
right?
That sounds like work. His mouth doesn't sync up with the words that he's saying. Why would I watch that?
I was so excited to see Squid Game blow up here because I couldn't believe Americans could handle that. I mean, it was fantastic, but we're so bad at that, and it's not hard. It just requires slightly more. I think it's harder when you get used to being on your phone while you watch TV. But if you stop doing that, it's amazing.
I bet that's part of it.
I'm feeling very personally attacked right now because I'm one of those people that I'm like, subtitles, which is funny because I have subtitles on anyway. Like usually I have subtitles on because I do watch a lot of media while I'm on the bus, while I'm on my commute in the morning. Like that's where I watched pretty much all of Downton Abbey, from start to finish. I watched as like, because that's a nice like wholesome show you can watch on the T without having to worry about somebody looking over your shoulder and seeing boobs and being like, pervert watching porn on the bus.
Is that what you're worried about when you're commuting?
I don't know.
I think that's what everyone's worried about when they're commuting.
Yeah, right?
I feel like that's no, I was on a flight recently and looked over to the person, across in one row in front of me, and no idea what he was watching, but there was a surprising deal of nudity for the aisle seat.
It's just a power move at that point.
Yeah, it's like that's a window seat show. I don't know what that is, but like
I'm gonna watch Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's so, and like I say that too because like I have that same stumbling block. It's something that I have to like consciously think about in terms of watching, of like, if I see something that it's in a foreign language, I'm like, this is going to be extra work. And I was like, no, it's still TV. It's just TV.
Right.
Like, just press play, figure it out. And I also think that like, I wonder a little bit too, if like, we're more willing to watch shows coming out of Asia because like anime has blown up so much.
Yeah. And there obviously, I think it's interesting that the level of there seems to be more dubbing in anime rather than although I know a lot of the purists are like, no, you need to watch with the captions, which I get, it makes sense. And I watched a thing a while ago on the on a voiceover actress who was talking about having to try and sync this up. It's like, well, you can't make the lip movement match, but you got to make the amount of time it takes to say the phrase match at least, which means also some creative editing in the language.
So hard, yeah.
It's got to be difficult because like the cadence,
right,
of a different, and it's like not just the words that are different or the length of the words. It's also like the cadence of how people speak. There's different rhythms for different languages.
Yeah, it's got to be very challenging. So yeah, I mean, I think just going with the subtitles generally makes sense, but I'm impressed by the voice actors and actresses that are able to do it.
Yeah, Squid Game is on my list. I am going to start watching it at some point, but I don't know that that's a show that I can necessarily watch on the T. Maybe it is. I don't know.
It depends on how you feel about other. Well, I guess I haven't seen it either. I'm not.
There's a good deal of death. it's pretty much built in.
Yeah, it's pretty much that's part of the show. I mean, right now I'm watching Scandal, or not Scandal, Succession. That's what it is.
People are into that.
My God, I'm only on the first season, and I'm on the last episode of the first season, and I'm like, holy shit! Like these people are awful.
Yeah,
like, they are just awful people.
There's real people like that.
Macaulay Culkin's brother. Is it Kieran?
Kieran, yeah.
Culkin, yeah.
Kieran Culkin. What a great name.
Great name. I for some reason I hate the mix, so I go Kieran McCulkin. It's like, no, that's not how names work. That's that was just for the Macaulay part.
Yeah, it's not Macaulay McCulkin. It's just Macaulay Culkin.
Right. I don't know why, but my brain is doing it wrong every single time.
No, I get it because that MC, like you,
it's like it has to be in part of everyone's name, right? If you add it in there. If it's on the beginning, you put it in the end.
Yeah.
If you are from Ireland or Scotland,
MC is
MC. It's and
no,
you
that's
just add
how
it before every word in every conversation.
Yeah, that's why MC Hammer was so popular there.
That's what
I'm
Gaelic
not proud of that
is.
one. Can we edit that out? That was
terrible. We'll edit.
It's a live show, but no
Absolutely
worries.
Not.
No worries. We'll edit that out for the YouTube remix. So Andrew, talk to us about, you've got a podcast called Here's Where It Went Wrong. And this sounds really, really cool. And I'm glad that I found this because this sounds like this could replace my bus. This could be my new bus media. Good morning, other Dave Thomas. No, he's right. We don't edit anything here.
Yeah.
It all goes out there and it just stays there. It just floats in YouTube forever. So talk to us about this. Talk to us about this podcast.
It's a lot of fun. We have comedians come on. We ask them to pick a subject that they love.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go and do about 10 to 20 hours of research to trace the entire history of this topic. And then, what ruined it. So it's really a lot of fun.
And how many you've got? There's 63 episodes that I see.
That sounds right. Yeah, we're a little over a year in.
Fantastic. What's your favorite? What's the the craziest thing that you found out? Something that just kind of blew your mind.
So honestly, it was one of the ones we did recently with Skylar Higley, who's a writer for Conan, and he came on to talk about LSD. So that was a fun one where I got to trace the history of all the psychotropics and basically drug history in general. And then we got to cover where it went wrong in that this was originally just for treatment and study. And then people got a bit too loose with it. And we started talking about the researcher who started trying to give LSD to dolphins. And dolphins don't respond to LSD, which just pissed him off. They
don't. They just don't respond at all.
No, drugs don't work differently in animals. It's pretty common even among animals for a vet to need to give different drugs to different species for the same treatment. So and then it just got to this insane story about a woman who just really liked dolphins and thought this was cool, decided to come work with them and this was supposed to be studying. They were giving LSD to dolphins because they wanted to teach dolphins to talk. And instead of going, well, they're talking, we should see what their words mean. They went, we should teach dolphins English.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks for us as a species.
It was just, so they said, well, we're studying them every day, but there's a lot of time we're not with them. So what we need to do is flood this room so I could live with the dolphin. And it was just the most insane thing. So yeah, that was one of our recent ones where it just got so much crazier than you expected. Well, it's so much dumber. Those are the fun ones where it's so much dumber than you think it will be.
Yeah, you think scientists are very very good at their jobs, very serious, very but then
no, they're like bad scientists. Yeah, they're
100%.
Really
very
terrible.
Comforting to believe that the people in charge are competent and they're doing the right thing, and there's a fine line between genius and insanity, and some people don't cross over to that genius side.
It's absolutely insane. One of those ones where it's like, just the more you go, it's like, this can't be real, right?
Like, how much LSD was she taking? Like, how much of the LSD was she taking versus how much was she giving to the dolphins? I want to live in a room with dolphins.
Yeah.
Then go in the ocean. Then go to
that's all of that is the dolphins' room. They have
that's their room.
Well, humans and dolphins have I feel like they've just always had a complicated relationship.
Like one that the dolphins are completely unaware of. We're out there in the ocean, like, you guys, you fucking did this again. And the dolphin's like, I'm just sitting here. I'm swimming.
Yeah.
I'm a dolphin. This is like, I have no concept. I have no moral compass.
Right.
I'm a dolphin. Dolphins are crazy.
One of my favorite stories of people that are supposed to be smart
is this show.
I believe it was the FBI. So like a lot of government agencies have like tried to train animals to do espionage and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think the Russians have done it successfully with, I think maybe it was dolphins. They've done it with a sea creature. I don't remember which one, but like America was like, let's get on this training animals train.
Yeah.
And they spent all this money training this cat to infiltrate, and like I think they put like a listening device on this cat, and they spent all this money to train this animal. The first mission, they released the cat. Doesn't even make it to the destination, just immediately gets run over by a car.
Yeah. That was a CIA operation. that they released, and and the thing is, it's like, it wasn't easy for the CIA to get into Russia. They had to smuggle a cat into Russia in the first place. And then
it's like somebody at the CIA had taken some LSD and was watching and was watching That Darn Cat, the old Disney movie, That Darn Cat, and was like, this could work.
Yeah,
let's make it happen.
We have tried this with so many animals too. We from dolphins and otters, because we're like, well, the ocean's there. We gotta get them doing stuff, and we do actually still use some dolphins, or you have them in training for disarming bombs and underwater mines.
Wow.
It's one of those things too, but that is like, this cannot possibly be worth it. We can build robots, guys. There's no way this is worth the money.
It's 2021. Like, we have the technology.
Dolphin,
have you seen those videos of the robots dancing to Land of a Thousand Dances? Like,
incredible.
Like, if they can do that, they can disarm an underwater bomb.
Yeah. There are clearly better choices here.
And if that blows up, then that blows up. And we can rebuild the dolphin. We can't rebuild the dolphin.
Right.
We can't. The dolphin doesn't piece back together as easy as, say, a robot.
Got to retrain a whole other dolphin. Come on, guys.
Jesus. Oh my goodness. So 64 episodes. You just did a Halloween episode, it looks like.
Yeah, that was one on the Halloween movie series. I'm hoping next year to do
nice.
one on the history of Halloween, which I haven't done so far because it is so dense to do right that I really want to color Samhain and the general Irish history. I mean, that's like an hour just getting through like the first 200
You could do
years.
a whole month. Like you could just
easily.
do like starting in October, just do a whole month of, and that, oh man, that stuff's fascinating.
It like really is. Our Christmas episode was one of the most fun to cover for that too. And that was one where we ruined it when it was ruined when Cromwell just tried to make it illegal in England. So
Cromwell, come on.
All over Cromwell. Just like, nope, people like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
So no, the holiday ones are really fun to do. Halloween is just such a dense one. I want to give it as it should really do segments and do a whole month on it.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's some crazy like Halloween like traditions or like
so many. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a while ago we had Gus Voorhees is his last name, I think.
Yeah.
We had Gus on the show, and he's a musician, and he was talking about how like most celebrations, most festivals are like people just showing up and doing weird things until you give them alcohol and food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the mummers that come around for Christmas, they come into your house and you don't, with weird masks on, you gotta figure out who they are, and then it's like, well, you figured it out, now give us alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, who?
Yeah, normally it's like a couple thousand years of it being a religious festival and then really drunk people, and then in like 1943 an ad guy figured out how to say the tradition has always been this and make up something completely new.
Yeah.
And that's how most of the holidays we have today came to exist.
Look at Santa. He's drinking a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that where we got that's where we got like the modern like version of Santa, right? Is from a like the guy in the red suit and everything. Didn't that come from a Coca-Cola commercial, or was that?
It did develop slowly through ads. Obviously, the Night Before Christmas started it with like the outfit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then I mean, it was actually that they very quickly started putting him in stores, which was where that developed. Yeah. And then it's just amazing how many of these are really like, we can't break with this tradition. It's so old. It's like, guys, it's been around for like 50 years, maybe.
Yeah.
It is all brand new.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, David. Other Dave Thomas. Coca-Cola did invent the polar bear.
Yeah.
That was all for an ad. Polar bears didn't exist until they started doing those Coca-Cola ads.
Well, and like this whole idea of like, this is the way that it's always been. It's like, no, everything is constantly evolving. I'm reading, highly recommend, by the way, I'm reading a book called Who Cooked the Last Supper.
Oh, that sounds great.
It's so good. It's like, so this woman wrote this book as, it covers world history, but it includes women this time.
Oh, wow. So rare for world history.
So crazy.
Yeah.
And I have to do it in small doses. It's very funny. The way that she wrote it is very funny, but I have to do it in small doses because I'll start getting mad about it.
Oh yeah.
But it's incredible because we have these such set ideas about like how things have been and how the way that things have always been, and looking at the history of women, I was like, oh, men have always been the dominant sex, whatever. But like prehistory, they did not understand that men were part of the procreation process. And so women were like in charge of everything because they're like, y'all are creating more people.
Right.
You're obviously magic, right? Like, you guys we're not going to mess with that. And then, like, so most cultures were actually started, like, matriarchal and then shifted once they figured out that you needed a dude to make a baby.
Yeah.
And
or be taught anything. Like, guys should just be left in the dark. Like, things would be so much better if we just didn't know how things worked.
Oh God.
That's kind of how how it was. They were like, women like were in charge of everything, and men were just kind of like, I don't know, go hunt something, right? Like, it's so, and it started to, and like once they figured out that men were part of procreation, the mythology shifted. Like the main goddesses in charge, the main gods in charge were women, and then you see the shift in the mythology where it's like, and then the man god killed the woman god, and now he's in charge. It's insane.
And that's been the theme.
And so one I read about recently was talking about the Amazons, because they're shown today as one of the few examples of strong women from this time period. And then someone started going through the stories, and they said, yeah, they're shown as strong women who always lose to a man, so it can make the men appear more victorious by not beating a regular woman, but a super strong one. And it was like, there's no part of history that is not incredibly sexist and terrible.
Yeah. And like, there's so much evidence of like women being warriors and leaders and all that stuff. And like, and they didn't stop doing that until someone was like, women can't do that.
Right. It's like, we've been doing it well for so long, guys.
Come on.
Yeah. They should have, they should have just bonked us on the head and, made us forget all that stuff. And, where would we be at this point? Probably someplace a lot better.
Yeah. Maybe. I think equality generally is the best route. I think like everyone should just
but you gave us equality and we ruined it so fast.
You guys,
we just immediately. It's like, here's the keys to your car. I'm driving it straight into a lake, just off the dock, like down a dock. Yeah, knowing that it's going to end up in the lake, not accidentally into a lake, like I ramped it into a lake.
Well, you got to learn somehow.
Okay, guys. Turns out cars can't swim. I didn't know that. No way to know that.
Who could have known? It's a learning process.
I've seen on the TV that if your car goes underwater, the tires flip up inside and it immediately becomes a submersible.
Yeah.
I was up in some woods recently. We're
already into this story.
Great start.
It was the idea was like, let's just go on a vacation. Let's get away from people where we can go outside and feel, not I'm immunocompromised. So it's like we can get some away from pandemic stuff. So I'm up in these woods, and there are a lot of these small roads, and on a number of these roads are not handwritten signs, like clearly printed on metal signs that said things like one verbatim, "I don't care what your GPS says. This is not the right turn." And it said and then there's a sign below it that says your car will get stuck. just keep going.
And don't turn down this road.
We're just walking. So we're going up this hill now to see what's there. It's like, okay, well, there's nothing there. This obviously couldn't have been it. And we go off on a side turn. We go up another one. And there's another sign that said this, you cars cannot go here, guys. None of this. Just ignore your GPS and look out the window. This is not a place for humans.
Right. I love that they had to put that second sign back there because people were just blowing past the first sign, being like, well, obviously this person doesn't know what they're talking about.
It was one thing too, like if you put up a little sign, like, oh, this is nice, they put it up there to help people because someone made a wrong turn. But like this is professionally printed on metal and screwed. They're like below a step, like the same way you see a stop sign put up. This was like a government decision of people are too stupid. We need to warn them that they can't just believe their GPS.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that this was gonna lead to, and then we turned into a clearing, and there were 6 cars there just abandoned.
They're like, well, this is parked here now. Time to get a new car.
Yeah, this is what they were talking about.
It was
just a car swamp.
It was incredible. We're out in woods north of San Francisco. And we got there, and it was the most rain they had in a day in 100 years. So we had this little cabin that we'd rented, or Airbnb. They're little like one room place off the main house. And you have to walk over a bridge to get to this place, and there's this little creek that's like 8 feet below the banks. It's just kind of trickling. He said this was dry like 2 weeks ago. For the past 2 years, it's been dry. You're so lucky you have water now, because it was very pretty. And then it started raining in the night, and we woke up the next morning and it had broken the banks, risen 8 feet. The yard was flooded.
Oh my God.
We had to flee the woods. And we kept, there's no Ubers here. So we're looking for a taxi, and we're texting the car. Said like the roads out of the main city have been shut down from the rain south of us. We had to, I eventually like, but this is south of us. There's got to be a taxi company north of us, right? And it turns out there was one. So you could get into the city, but you couldn't get out. So we obviously made it out alive.
Wow, that's like some disaster movie.
It was unexpected.
Right,
it was a little unexpected for a vacation.
Yeah,
but still, we just made it back to San Francisco. We're like, okay, well, there's so many people here. They're not going to let us die.
Then they realized it was you that caused all this, and they decided to sacrifice you.
Tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something about I think it's we're in like a La Nina weather pattern, and with all the like bombogenic stuff going on, California right now is getting like a ton of rain, and so like they're kind of forecasting mudslides because when it hasn't rained in that long,
right,
the ground does not absorb the water as well.
Right.
Not at all. Yeah.
And yeah, so that's the thing is the rain. Everyone's excited for like a day because it's putting out fires. And then they're like, oh, but now mudslides. And then it's
yeah, it's like, which is worse? Do I want to burn or do I want to be buried alive in mud?
Options, and that's
options. Or do I want to just walk into the ocean and drown?
Yeah.
Like, there's my third option.
I mean, that's what you're there. If you're in California, that's what you're there for. You're there for the nice ocean view.
Oh yeah, the ocean was great. The ocean was fine. It's just doing its thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full of dolphins.
Yeah.
Just full of dolphins doing their thing. Ocean's doing its thing. Like, yeah, we're the ones that are fucking it up. We're the ones that are being like, hey, let's add more ocean. Let's put more water into the ocean.
There's got to be like some guy that is blaming the dolphins. That's like they seem shifty. They're the reason because they're having more dolphins, right? And that's making the waters rise. Because that's
it's
how
displacing the water because of how many dolphins there is. This man certainly has a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Dolphins are going up underneath the ice caps and swimming so fast that it's melting them.
Yeah.
And that's what's called. It's a giant conspiracy.
I mean, like technically, yeah, if you're getting more dolphins, it's going to go up a little bit. But I remember that one a while ago where they're talking about the issues of like hurricanes from global warming, and this guy so confidently saying, "Well, it's from warm air rising. So what if we just take like a really big ice cube and we put that in the ocean?" And they're like, "Well, but it's the ocean." It's like, "No, but really big." It was like, what? How do you think this?
You mean like works? An ice cap, like
because we have those, and it's going the wrong way.
We have two big ones of those,
right?
And it's not going well for either of them.
Well, his suggestion too was like to fly. It's like you want them to fly a helicopter through a hurricane with like one of those claw machine claws holding a thing of ice to drop in, because like then the hurricane's just gonna like, oh well, it's cold now, gonna dissipate.
Yeah, I just see this giant
I gotta
bunker.
go. I see that ice cube coming.
Yeah, I see this giant bunker in like Area 51. Right, and it's one of those. That's what
they're doing in Area 51.
Yeah, they've got one of those big. You know how you can get those balls of ice
for
cocktails and things like that? It's like a spherical ice cube thing. It's a massive one of those. Yeah, and they're filling it with water, and that's and they're dropping it. Yeah, oh, I love it. I see it.
Round makes sense because you can really just roll it in then.
Yeah,
you just get near like a cliff and push.
Ka-chunk. Yeah. This is where we come up with all the good ideas. This is why we put it on YouTube so people will find it and be like, "Hey, that's an idea."
Where we solve global warming.
That'd be like what's the worst idea you have to solve global warming? I think it's probably a fun party game.
Yeah.
All right, so like, what animals run hottest? Because like 98.7 is around average for humans, but there are some that run a lot hotter. So let's just get rid of those, like the hot animals. If we got rid of them and maybe made some more colder animals.
Not physically hot, temperature hot.
Temperature hot, right.
Yeah.
No, sexy animals are okay.
Yeah.
We just need more lizards. We need a lot more lizards.
That's lizards, shark, any of those cold-blooded ones are going to help.
Well, I think that the water levels are so high because of all the heavy creatures in the ocean.
Yeah.
So I think what we need to do is we need to go round up all these giant whales and just get rid of them. And then the water levels will sink again.
And here's a really interesting one. When I was a kid, I don't know if you guys remember this, the sun had sunglasses on it. That was in all of the pictures, and I feel like that was probably reflecting a lot of the heat.
Yeah.
They shouldn't. Yeah.
We should bring that one back.
Yeah,
give the sun back his sunglasses.
Who took the sunglasses off the sun? Come on.
There's just some guy walking out there with like these absolutely huge glasses. Like, those can't be working for you.
Those
He's like, look,
yours.
I stole them. I'm going to wear them.
This is like a really lame Greek myth.
Yeah. The guy who stole sunglasses.
I stole the sunglasses from the sun. Like, okay, Carl.
I guess, but what now? What was your plan?
Yeah. Well, so, and hey, here's the other thing. That moon is constantly reflecting that sunlight.
Yeah. Just God.
We just got to go up there and spray paint the moon black.
Yeah.
So it doesn't reflect anymore.
Well, yeah, we'll spray paint it. What's that super black?
Oh yeah.
Color?
That.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The one that the artist licensed, so only he could use it.
Only he can use it. Well, we got to get him involved.
And
Right.
Banksy?
He's going to spray paint the moon. Vanta Black. Thank you,
Vanta
Sparky
Black.
Boy Max.
Yes.
Vanta Black.
And it'll just absorb the sunlight.
Yeah. This is, I feel like we've got this. We're
we
done.
nailed it. It's 3
We're solving problems. We're solving problems.
Like 2 weeks, the moon is going to catch fire just from absorbing all the heat. It's like, okay, but we solved the Earth one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's like mad at it. What? Why are you guys mad? We made your life better.
The moon is on fire.
The moon anyway. Like, come on. This is so much cooler to look at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I would much rather look up and see. Oh, that would mean we would have basically 2 suns.
Yeah.
At that point.
Oh, God, we went the wrong way. It's now hotter because the moon caught fire.
Oh, shit.
Damn it.
We can't put the sun out, but maybe we could just turn it down.
Yeah. It's like, come on. Do you need that much, fire, guys?
Yeah.
Is there a dimmer somewhere we could install where it's just a...
Well, so here's the thing. You get a good volcano to go off.
A good volcano. Yeah.
Not one of those cheap volcanoes.
It throws up the ash, blacks the sun a little bit, right? It'll cool it right down. We gotta set off a volcano up north.
Because with volcanoes, you really get what you pay for.
Right.
If you don't spend the money to get a quality volcano,
right?
Yeah,
it's just going to be like,
and you got to place it just right. The placement is key.
Yeah, yeah. Look at Pompeii.
It's that Pompeii, super cool for a little while. The people weren't crazy about it, but sacrifices have to be made sometimes, Yeah.
Yeah. The Earth was getting too hot.
I love that there's one guy in Pompeii who's like, technically this is good, guys. Like, long term, this is going to work for us.
This is a good thing.
It's for humanity, man.
It was the guy they caught. It was the guy that got frozen masturbating, wasn't it? Didn't they find a guy that was mid self pleasure as When
I mean, if you,
it's like
there were like, I mean, after the Black Plague, the Earth did actually cool from less heat from humans. There was a marked drop. Yeah, because I mean, we lost like a third of Europe. So no, we actually did have a temperature drop. I mean, this is getting a little Thanos-ish, but technically, if we killed half the population, it would cool down pretty darn quick.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating for it, but technically this would work.
Well, I mean, if you watched Endgame, I mean, they say that at the start of them. It's like they got dolphins, and what do they say? That there are dolphins in New York Harbor, and it's like it's the dolphins. It all comes back.
It all comes back to those dolphins.
Yeah. I think we just need another really hard blast of COVID, and then maybe that'll do. Sorry. Too much? Okay.
I mean, I feel like we should remind the audience that, again, we're talking about what would work, not what should be done.
Right.
So, we're not fans.
Right.
Yeah, we're not pro-COVID. This isn't a pro-COVID show.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
A show that was just like, hey, this COVID ain't so bad.
So bad? Oh my God, no. That person also has a Facebook group.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's friends with the dolphin guy.
It's the worst place in the world.
Yeah.
Florida?
Even Q from QAnon is like, nah.
It's a little too much for me.
It's a little too much for me.
Well, it's always when it's like whenever Jason Sudeikis was back on SNL and he played he has his devil character.
Yes.
And one of the punchlines is always like, oh, are you responsible for this thing? And he's like, oh no,
right.
Those guys are nuts. I wouldn't want to be associated with them.
Yeah.
All right, this is a huge sidetrack, but again, as I mentioned, I've been decorating this place for Halloween, and this is the little recording studio I have in my space. And if looking at the screen here, I thought, oh my God, my decorations look so good. I didn't realize we'd done this room, and realized it's the trees on the background here. Of like, oh my God, did my girlfriend put those up? I completely missed that. Yeah. Like, oh no, it turns out I am just an absolute idiot.
They're good trees.
They're good trees.
Great.
That just shows that we've been doing virtual shows for far too long.
Yeah.
That we
just. This is our reality now.
This is our reality.
Either way, I'm putting some leaves in here tomorrow. That works.
This is not at your house. This is my pumpkin.
I noticed it though. It's a great pumpkin.
Thank you. But I want to make sure that you know that this is not part
that
of
it
your
doesn't
house.
belong.
This is in my house.
This guy, however, is directly behind you.
Yeah.
He is.
No, I'm good with the separation. That little space between our rectangles is like, oh, okay, this is how I know it's not part of my reality.
Yeah.
But when it blends in, it's like any of this could be here right now.
Yeah. Are you a Gravity Falls fan? Do you know Bill Cipher?
I've heard about how good it is, and I haven't watched it yet. Which it is high on my list.
Yeah. It's a real good show. And this is so Bill Cipher he's this weird little triangle demon with a top hat. And my favorite line from the whole show is Bill Cipher he says, "It's funny how dumb you are." And there's no greater insult.
Yeah.
No.
It's just brilliant.
It's funny how dumb you are.
Highly recommend.
So let's see. Let's look at some of your other accomplishments and projects, Andrew.
Sure.
We've talked about your podcast. We've mentioned a little bit about the dad, but is that something you write for regularly, or is it something?
I did. I was writing for them weekly. At the moment, I need to update my bio.
You need to update your Twitter, because all I get is the information off your Twitter.
Right.
It's 20 minutes I spend prepping for this show.
Right. The dad in Netflix family I haven't written for in a little bit, but yes, at the moment I've obviously been doing some more NASDAQ stuff, and I'm producing a show here in Chicago Spitfire, which I felt so I got your email with the details last night, and I was at the show. I didn't get it until I got home, and I read the details about how to log on and everything. And I said, "Oh, good. Let me respond and let them know." And then I immediately fell asleep, and then I logged on today and saw the bottom half of the email where you're like, "And let me know what you have going on, what you want to talk about. Maybe get on early so we can do a sound check." And this was maybe 20 seconds before I logged in. So ridiculously unprofessional. I'm so sorry.
Well, in your defense, I didn't send that email out until like 8 o'clock at night the night before. Like this is all like, we'll peel back the curtain here for the audience. This is a very haphazardly thrown together show that we all work during the week, and it's like the one day off I have. It's like, okay, in the morning I get up and do this show.
Yeah.
So I usually stay up pretty late the night before.
Right. Yeah. So last night was Spitfire, which is the show I run at Lincoln Lodge in Chicago.
What is that show?
So it's a stand-up comedy showcase where we have 6 comics, and they're each given 6 minutes to do their set, and then they can buy extra time by doing a shot of hot sauce. So
oh my God.
We have they can buy 1 to 4 minutes. We have 4 hot sauces. The hotter the sauce, the more time you get.
That's fantastic.
It's a really fun show, and we get some of the best comics in Chicago to come out and do it. So I don't think we've ever had a no. I think every comic we've asked said yes. And it's so fun. So yeah, we absolutely love doing it.
Oh, yeah, well, that's fantastic. Yeah, if you ever it looks like you've had Mike Kaplan on your show.
Mike Kaplan has done the podcast. Actually, I just did a live show with Mike maybe 2 weeks ago. Also at Lincoln Lodge. He wasn't here in time for Spitfire, but we put together another showcase.
Yeah, he's great.
He's so good.
He's been on this show. He's been on a couple shows on the.
He's so nice.
Station. He's a friend of the Twitch channel.
Yeah, he's just one of the best guys. I always love working with Mike.
Is he still growing his eyebrow hair?
It's still there.
Is it still there? Oh my God.
It is. He did a lot of crowd work at the last show we did, where he actually went to just through the entire audience, asked if anyone had questions, and one because Mike can do that.
Because Mike can do that, and he's
he's so good at it. Like that is so hard to do. And one asked about the eyebrow hair, so he's showing us how long this is, and like, well, we can't get rid of it now. This is now like
this is for science.
This is a study. You're right. We gotta see how
now
this
has feelings and sentient. So it is actually told Mike that it's like the Who's
right.
They live in the eyebrow. There's a whole like civilization. Right there. I love that idea that they can buy time by taking shots of hot sauce.
It's really fun. We've got 2 good hot sauce sponsors that give us these in Lucky Dog and Burns and McCoy that send us these really good sauces.
Great names.
Yeah. The Burns and McCoy is a new sponsor, and they have our hottest sauce, and it's been so fun because it has a 5 to 10 second delay. And we have so many comics to go, oh, this isn't so bad. And then like you take a breath, and if you breathe in the heat, like your throat just closes. And it's one of the things too, that some comics forget they're set, but the fun one is that your tongue just stops working as well. So it's like you can't pronounce the words right, and these are things that obviously we've rehearsed 100 times, and we know how it's supposed to sound, and your tongue isn't doing that anymore.
Your tongue is like, F you, what did you just do to me?
Yeah. So it's a really fun show. If you're in Chicago, guys, last Thursday of the month, every month. It's please come out, check it out.
Oh my God.
Do you know how hot, like the measurement of how hot these sauces
They
are?
don't. We've asked about it, and they said it's an expensive study and inaccurate. So they haven't done it. We don't want to kill the comics. It is all stuff that I would willingly put on food. But when you do it straight, it's way too hot.
Yeah.
We had one, our first show back, because we were up before COVID when we were at IO, and they closed down during COVID. We moved to Lincoln Lodge, which has been great to us. We love Lincoln Lodge. And for the first show back, we had one sauce that we decided was too hot to give anybody. You can't do the show on it. And I brought that one by mistake. And 3 of us threw up doing the shot. And it was,
because when you say a shot, is it like a shot glass?
We have a little mini shot glass, but we're really having them do about a teaspoonful to a tablespoonful. Some do a bit more, but teaspoon to tablespoonful, more than you should have for straight hot sauce.
Yeah,
and they all taste good. That's why we got partnered with good brands. But it's just too much to do straight.
we had what was the name of it? Who was running that? We had a show.
That was Other Dave Thomas.
Other Dave Thomas
was running a show where they would have to eat a pepper. Like,
I heard it was one in New York or Boston that did that. Was that one of his?
It might be the one that's done in Boston. Other Dave Thomas, if you're still in the chat and not working like a lot of people do on Fridays, put the name of the show in the chat, because it was a pretty popular show.
Yeah, I'd heard good things.
They kept bread and milk on hand.
So what we do, because we're not monsters, we have milk.
That's good.
But because we're also not great people, we don't let them have it while they're on stage. You have to give up your time if you want milk, or it's in the green room waiting for you. It
was called Hot Mouth Stuff. Yeah, is the name of the show.
That's a good name.
That's a solid name.
It is.
And Other Dave Thomas is a little bit of a comedy legend here in the 2MB Studios realm, which for a small Twitch channel, is practically the world.
Yeah.
I just was watching, as I was watching my TikToks today.
I love that you delivered that the same way a grandparent would say as I was reading the paper.
Yeah,
because I was watching my TikToks.
Watching my TikToks this morning, getting all the TikToking in. I don't make TikToks; I just consume them.
Right.
Yeah. There was a clip of Mila Kunis on the What's the Wing show?
Hot Ones.
Hot Ones.
Where she basically is like, "Can I drink this ranch dressing?"
Yeah.
And then she drinks it and lets out this ranch burp. Like,
she's a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't get into, I'm such a wimp when it comes to I do Frank's. I like Frank's sauce. I like, but anything other than anything hotter than really that, I'm a little bit of a baby.
Yeah,
that's why we have the 1 and 2 options. We want to give people a choice,
right? We
had I don't know if you know Sam Berkman. She passed away this year from cancer. She was one of the best comedians Chicago's ever had. And she came on and did our show and did all 4 sauces for the same amount of time. No one required it. And killed it. Had a fantastic set, and then pulled out an entire bottle of Tums from her back pocket and just downed it. But one of my favorite sets ever. She was always fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I just have to have that milk of magnesia, or something just or something like that. Something that will just coat the inside of my mouth and kill everything.
Right. We had a comic recently, Cassidy Kulhanek, who said she was training for this, who had been doing hotter and hotter sauces throughout the month. And she got to her show. She's like, "Oh, I did hotter ones than yours." I was like, "Yeah, man, I told you we weren't going to kill you." But she did the same thing too, and drank beforehand to get that coating.
Yeah, I think you should do a show where before the show you dose all of the comics with LSD.
Yeah,
and then make them come up and do their set.
Well, so
see what happens.
And just see what happens.
Just a little dose.
There's this. So I tend to nerd out about science stuff, but so here's the way this works is when you have capsaicin, the receptors believe they're receiving heat, which is why it burns. The burn you get from alcohol is because your receptors lower the temperature that it perceives as heat. So suddenly what's air temperature feels hot. So
Interesting.
the mix of hot sauce and alcohol is a very interesting process.
Oh,
So
my.
no, I mean, not scientifically, just to actually do it,
Yeah,
to experience these two different heats, because we do allow them beer or alcohol, whatever they want to bring on stage, other than something that kills the heat. And most, are watered down. It's so you're not really feeling it, but it never works quite like you expect either. And of course, it doesn't have the properties that bread and milk do, that the fat that absorb the capsaicin and take it away. So watching them desperately try and kill this heat with alcohol is always fun.
Yeah. You should like have like 2 glasses of milk. One has like ghost pepper stuff in it. One is and then they have to guess which one. And
Right.
They'll either make it way, way worse or better.
Oh my God.
Just torturing comedians. I mean, that's what the people want to see. That's what the public wants to see. They want to see comedians in pain.
Occasionally we have a comedian handle it great, and our audience is always so disappointed. It was like, no, we came here to watch you suffer.
Yeah. This
is the Schadenfreude we're here for.
Yeah, I mean, the Running Man is not that far off from where we are as a society. We're very close to watching people go through a maze and with chainsaws.
Yeah.
That's something that it took a long time for me to figure out, because I like being good at things, and I tend to be good at really dumb stuff that doesn't like games or mazes, whatever.
Right.
And it took me a long time to figure out that, like, me being good at this dumb game, like, part of the reason that it's fun and funny is watching each other struggle at it. And I'm like, I did it. And everyone's like, oh, fuck you, man. Like,
but if Squid Game ever becomes real, like, you're in the league immediately.
I'm ready for it.
That's when it will matter.
Yeah. Andrew, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been so so great just chatting with you about all kinds of stuff, and thanks for sticking around longer than I told you would in the email.
Thank you for helping us solve the climate crisis.
I'm glad we could get some good done, guys.
I mean, we did so much today. We've really gotten so much accomplished. Check out Andrew. His Twitter is going to be scrolling across the bottom of the screen. There it is, right there. Follow him on Twitter. Go check out. Here's where it went wrong. Where I'm assuming wherever podcasts
we're everywhere
are found. And if you're in Chicago, go check out Spitfire Comedy. That's fantastic. Next time I'm in the area, I will hopefully be there around the time that you're having one of those shows. So. That sounds super dope. Not to participate in, just to watch. But thank you so much, Andrew. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, take care. All right.
That's great. We learned so much.
And the time just flew by. I love that. I love when the conversation just flows. It's fantastic.
That's great.
So that's our show. We got just a couple minutes left. We've got some stuff going on this weekend. I mean, it's Halloween. So tonight, so tonight on 2MB, we've got 69 Minutes of Sex with Me, which is not what it sounds like. It's a line game. And it's comedy, and there will be no actual sex on screen. I know, disappointing, but not allowed by the terms and conditions of Twitch.
Yeah.
Tune into that at 9, and then at midnight between tonight and tomorrow. So technically midnight Saturday is the Midnight Creep Out with Jess Bryant. And special guest M-Lab is going to be on the show tonight. And they're going to be talking about spooks and specters.
Spooks and specters, baby.
Yeah. It's going to be a really cool show. So stick around for that. That'll be tonight at midnight. And then on Halloween, on October 30th, 31st. Yes. Which is when Halloween is. Oh my God. I'm starting to.
We got there.
I got to land the plane. We're almost there. Yeah. This Sunday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., we're going to be hosting our second annual, I guess, Laughing for Liberation. So this is a fundraising show that we're doing. It's a 3-hour fundraiser we're doing for Community Change Inc. As well as and we're doing it with a group that works with them called Showing Up for Racial Justice Boston, or Surge Boston. They're a fantastic group. We've got some amazing comedians coming on. It's going to be hosted by Rachel Jane Andelman is going to be one of the hosts, and co-hosting with her will be none other than Brandy Brown from the Midwest. She's oh man, if I mess up what state, believe it's either Minnesota or Wisconsin. I think it's Minnesota. Yes, it is Minnesota. She's a Minnesota comedian, very, very funny. She's kind of famous on 2MB because she's the one that won the run-on jackpot. Very last show, deal. She won the run-on jackpot, which I believe at that point was like $450. So
that's incredible.
So Rachel and Brandy are going to host the show. It's going to be great. We're going to have I'm going to be over at the Union Comedy Space with big bags of candy to welcome any of our friends that want to swing by and trick or treat while we're there. So we'll be doing some costume stuff. We're going to have stand-up comedians. It's going to be great, and it's all going to raise money for Showing Up for Racial Justice Boston and Community Change Inc. So this will be a great time if you're looking to spend a little cash and do a little good. Definitely tune in 6:00 on Sunday.
Excellent.
And as always, follow, subscribe, support the channel.
Support us, please.
Support it. Chloe, we've got just another little minute here. Do you have any final words of wisdom for us this evening or this morning?
This morning.
We got this.
Listen.
We're doing great.
We're doing great. It's Halloween. Make sure that your costume is warm enough.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you're going to be outside, you're going to be trick-or-treating, it might get a little chilly.
Yeah.
All right? And if that means putting little hand warmers in your gloves or in your shoes, like it's just make sure you're toasty.
Yeah. If you're gonna dress up like a sexy cat, make sure the sexy cat has some coverage and is warm, because you don't want to get frostbite.
You don't want to get frostbite on Halloween.
That's just embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. It's too early in the season.
It's too early for that nonsense.
Come on.
All right, friends. Well, until next week, we'll see you then. Have a great Halloween. Bye.
Goodbye, world.